Dumelang Sanbonani, I go by the name Austin Lukele. We welcome you again for another banger episode of our ENGL podcast, episode 2. And as of course, as always, I'm not alone. I'm with my colleagues.
Karabo.
And come on, guys, give us energy, man. It's a Monday, we know. Give us energy. Fellow colleagues, today we're going to be discussing a certain theme that goes with the saying that love is in the air. We know it's not February, but it's what brings us to today's topic. Today's topic, we are going to be discussing and analyzing the play More Passion. The play, it critiques how love and identity may collide or contradict each other in a certain way. We're given Ulinga, but let me not do all the talking. My colleague Karabo will give you guys a summary of the story or the play. Yes.
The Mob Passion by Ken Timber took place in the township called Westbury in the 1950s. The story explores the love of Linga and Mapula, and Linga ultimately brutally killed by the rebel mob. And Mapula, upon seeing the limp body of her lover, is finally overcoming so much rage and passion that kills her own uncle, the leader of the Russian tribe and the instigator in the planning of Linga's death. The final scene of passion sobers the mob. The final scene of passion sobers the mob of women and men who weep as individuals at the end of the play.
Wow! What an amazing story to read, ne? For sure, all of you guys want to read it now. But here, there's no need because that's why we are here. Our colleague here will give us, or we're going to briefly discuss the themes. Yes. Wow. For sure, you want to read the story as well. But here, there's no need because there's us. We're here to analyze the story for you. For one to write a very successful play, there needs to be certain things or certain themes that we follow in order to understand the true meaning or the deeper meaning of that play or story. And in this case, we're given, and in this case, my colleague is going to tell you about the theme of forbidden love in the play More Passion by Ken Temba. Over to you with that.
I will focus on the theme of forbidden love. As you all know that forbidden love is where two people are not supposed to be together. And in the play, Linga and Mapule were not supposed to be together because they come from different tribes, and which led to Linga's death. Because their relationship or their community included the gangs violence, which was the causes called themselves the Rethabile, and Sotos called themselves Russians. And the Russians at the end killed Linga because he was not supposed to date with Mabula.
But do you guys think that was fair? Do you guys think it was fair that other tribes had to be inferior to others? Or other tribes had to fear other tribes? Do you think it was fair? According to you guys, was it fair in the 1950s?
I can say it was not fair I can say the root or the cause of that thing is because of the apartheid system. Apartheid system was created to separate us as black people. So they already knew that we come from different provinces and we all go to Gauteng to search for what? For greener pasture. And when we get there, we are all fighting for resources. And as Sothos or Zulus, we know that we have kings and all those people that control us. But when you get to Johannesburg or when you get to other provinces, we are used to that power. So that is why we ended up making gangs so that we can protect ourselves and to try to get resources through that. So I don't think it was fair because...
So what you are saying is that when people got to Joburg,
Yes.
they were battling for resources. Ne? So when those resources were depleted, they had to find other ways of making money, of hustling. Ne?
Yes.
Hence what led to the criminality or the arise of what we call gangsterism.
Yes.
Ne? Which brings us to that theme of gangsterism.
Even within that, I agree, when you are closer or someone who's Zulu, if I'm dating a closer person or I'm dating a Sotho, they will think that I will take those resources that will only benefit Sothos to Xhosas or Bedis. So that is why Sothos and Xhosa or other tribe were forbidden to have romantic relationship or any kind of relationship, even though whether it's friendship or anything.
Oh yeah. So I should drop these thoughts that I have about dating a Sotho hand. Ne?
Yeah, right now you can. Right now it's post-apartheid. Everyone
It's free. Ne?
is free. We are no longer fighting. We do fight for resources, but not like back in the 1950s. Even right now, we in South Africa, we have racial marriage and everything. So you can see that white people now are marrying, are allowed to marry black people. Yeah.
Would you do that though?
Yeah, nah, I will do it because I find a Konzaman handsome and I love him. I could date him.
How?
Yeah.
We're not there, Tina. Tina, we're in this theme of criminality. Criminality was expressed in many ways by different tribes. As you have said, my colleague Ubuti, the Xhosas had their own tribe or the Xhosas had their own gang, ne, which was called Rethabile, and the Sothos had their own gang, which was called
The Russians.
Amarashia. Ne? The arising of these gangs was it a planned thing, or it was something that came up since they saw which they were running out of resources and the people were being attacked, so they had to look after themselves and what?
I think that happened because of power.
Ne?
Yeah.
Power. So now that these gangs are there,
Yeah.
which one or how were they all trying to show Gucci they are more powerful than the other?
Within the play or just in general?
Within the play. I grew up analyzing the play.
Okay.
Yes.
Within the play.
You can begin by in general. How did these tribes or how did these gangs try to show Gucci Bona the one is more powerful than the other?
I think, according to the play,
Yes.
the Russians showed their power by killing the Xhosa. Yeah. So I think it is how they showed their power as the Sothos, the Russians. Yeah.
Proper.
Yeah.
Proper. So the theme of power was shown by the Amarashian gang, ne? By saying Bona they would not be inferior. But Yazi, do you know which other theme I found?
Which other thing?
Protection or protectiveness. Protectiveness or protection.
Can you please tell us more about it?
The reason why I'm saying it's protection or protectiveness is because the reason for them ending up to kill
Linga.
Olenga was not solely because he was Xhosa, but it was also because he was dating umshana kaLukhuza. He was dating Alpheus's niece. Ne? So with that, I think Alpheus had the thing yokuthi they are trying to enter their kingdom using the love that they have for this girl. So I think he was being overprotective, or he was being protective of Mapula by doing what he did.
In that way, don't you think maybe Uncle Alpheus or friends wanted to be in power? Because you remember they said Akere Mapula's father was hurt, and they said they should use that to make other people to be angry so that they will agree to go in a mob. So do you think that what really caused it? Was that protectiveness, or they actually wanted to paint Xhosa's bad?
You want to answer?
You can answer.
I think these things go coherently, so both of them, they go together, or they go twins. What I mean is that you mentioned the power there, I mentioned the overprotectiveness. Okay. Of course, by being overprotective, it's their way of showing what they are powerful. Okay. Hence why they went out there, they were able to gather people, they were able to gather a mob, which shows the power. It's not everyone who can do that nowadays.
And authority, you see, power and authority.
And authority, yes, goes hand in hand. Yes. Yes. So by being overprotective, they also wanted to show in a power. They wanted to show power by being overprotective. Okay. By respecting Mapula. But I think that's what brings us to our next theme, which is betrayal. Betrayal. Through everything and the power hungriness and the love and the death, there's some sort of betrayal.
How? I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but yes. I think betrayal is shown when Uncle Alpheus killed Mapula's love.
Yes.
And because of the rage Mapule had, she also killed her own uncle because she was angry that her uncle killed her love.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is shown in that way.
Yes. You get it, Mas?
I do get it.
Yeah, Alpheus betrayed Mapula in a very disrespectful manner. So, he was claiming to be protective of her, but he was lying because he was not protecting her. He wanted to show her power, and that power was only shown by what? By mobilizing people and killing the love of her niece's, by killing her niece's love. Yeah?
You can even say that Mapula chose love over
family.
To her family. And one can ask a question, what kind of a person, or maybe is it because she was hurt that she decided to kill her own uncle, and in order to protect, or like I can say to protect his lover? Why did she not choose her family rather than choosing her lover? Do you think there was something that was going on between her and her family?
Not really, yes. I don't think so. I think it's genuine love. Okay. I think it's genuine love. You see, when one is really in love, but that's our next theme.
And do you remember that back in apartheid, women were not supposed to work? So Mapule was working as a nurse at a health hospital, and his uncle wanted her to get married.
Yes.
So you see that they only wanted her to become, what we can say now, a housewife, not someone who works daily and go to work, to show that patriarchy still exists within.
Patriarchy did exist. Because during those times, women were treated as objects, or as material things. Yes. They were ordered around when you do this, they were told ukuthi they are allowed to do this and not do this. Ne? So I think a patriarchy does exist, but it's traditional African patriarchy, that one, because it goes with the African rules or African laws or of the society to say women are inferior to men, so women were not allowed to work. So when Umapula was found working and the uncle wanted her to work, or they wanted her to get married, those things could have what is this? Could have worked hand in hand. She could have got married, but still keep her job. So I don't think partying, maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible. Who knows? And that brings us to the end of our session. I hope it was very informative. I hope it was very productive. I hope all of you grasped something out of it. Until we meet again. Again, my colleague,
Karabo.
we are signing out. I go by the name Austin Local. Bosonzela waqonya situkula sathi umuzi uthi umlingani maphuzu ukhahlele ntombi ngicela ukhesi phansi epopolweni esigodleni sikaSigwinya konke umlondozi.
Goodbye and good night.